Yo, what up? It's Big Cappuccino and the Great Wu-Tang Clan, Killer Bees on the Swarm.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Bizarre from D12.
Yo, what's good, y'all? This is Gov E Fresh.
Hey, Redman is in the building. You already know.
Hey guys, this is Emily Peachy.
Shout out, man, to Worldwide Collaborations, man.
I want to shout out Worldwide Collaborations LLC.
Shout out to the Worldwide Collaborations LLC.
World movement, beyond thousands of movements.
The world movement, beyond thousands of movements.
All about representing each other together. So check this out.
What's up? You want to be a part of this? You want to be a part of the Worldwide Collaboration?
You guys should all be a part of Worldwide Collaboration.
Worldwide Collaborations LLC. Check us out, man, and check what's going on, man. Word up. I have recently been choosing to be a spokesman and an ambassador. So you will see a lot more of me. Join the movement, man. It's beyond thousands of movements right now. And talents put together, all about representing each other together.
I want to join, so I might see you there. All right, much success.
Shooting the free throws and striping, we own it. Push an opponent. 5 fouls on the 4 for the bonus. And shooting the free throws and striping, you own it. We own it. Trilly pile up the green, even on the weekend. And I see so much green that I turn to vegan. When I get it from Cali, no misdemeanor. When I flip in the patties to flip Christina. Dreaming, dope. I see it. Scope, blue hundreds, low, demon, go. Trilly pile up the green, even on the weekend. I done seen so much green that I turn to vegan. When I get it from Cali, no misdemeanor. When I'm flipping the patties to flip Christina. I'm dreaming, dope. I see it. Scope, blue hundreds, low, the real DJ Star.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What it is, what it is, what it is. It's Christopher Lee Cheney, founder and creator of Worldwide Collaboration. And do I got a special guest for you today? The original G-Man of hip-hop. The man who actually came up with the term hip-hop. Now let's get right into it, everybody. I hope you guys are excited as I am. Let's get it. What's going on? What's going on, original G-Man of hip-hop? I'm so glad and honored to have you here today, my brother.
Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Hey, yo, man, you so hyped up, man. You get so hyped, you make me want to just start jumping around the ring, get in the ring back here, and just start getting ready to go to duel, go to battle, act like I'm back bodyguarded, and I'm back in the day again. You know what I mean? I'm good. I'm blessed.
I'm glad. Yeah, they don't call me hype man for nothing. I mean, I got different people that call me the hype man and stuff. I actually go on the shit show and I'm hyper on there to help keep the crowd going and stuff like that. That's one of my main keys, is being the hype man for people and getting stuff really raveled up and stuff. But I'm so happy. It's been a long time. So tell us, like, what really inspired you to do everything that you have, and like what was your hardest times that you've had, and also make sure you introduce yourself as well.
First of all, I'm known as the original G-Man of hip hop. There's a lot of people out there call themselves G-Man and G-Man and G this and G that, but I've been doing this whole thing since 1973. I was approached in Brooklyn, New York in 1975 by Sylvia Robinson on Broadway and Elder Street. I think at the time her and her husband was trying to invest, excuse me, get her, they was trying to get a theater over there called Lois Gate Theater. I think she mentioned to me that she was thinking about purchasing that at one time. Y'all gotta excuse me, you know, having a little throat issues and stuff from performing over the weekend. I had to do the Muhammad Ali Museum in Miami Beach, Florida. And I got my throat a little messed up there, but it's getting better. And but anyway, But anyway, with that being said, like I was in Prospect Park, and it was some people in the park when when I used to like to rhyme, and God used to speak to me in my ear and tell me, because I wanted to be a little 5%er. So I based everything off of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, of course. And at this 11-year-old kid, I was in the park just rhyming and just rhyming and just rhyming, till a lot of older heads approached me, and we started clicking up. And just being cool, and I was a little shorty being naughty, going to the bodega getting 40s for every party. You feel me? So, we clicked up, and we started just doing a weekend thing where it had a whole lot of different elements to this little crew that we had, which was breakdancing, pop locking, rapping, rhyming, doing the tick, doing the worm, doing the snake, and all kinds of different, and writing the graffiti on any platform, any surface that the guys could handle. So it was like a melting pot in New York. So, and then I noticed, after that some time had passed, that I was getting popular everywhere I went. So the older heads used to throw that right fist up in the air and say, right on, you young brothers is hip. So that's where the term hip came from, because we was popular everywhere we went. All the corners, all the blocks, everywhere we went on the trains, we to get from borough to borough, we had to hop over the turnstiles to go to borough. So that's where the term hip hop came from, for our perspective. Now everybody has a right to their own truth. I'm not knocking nobody for what they claim and what they did, but just because you was rapping in the Bronx, or you was rapping in Manhattan, or you was rapping across the bridge, wherever you was rapping, and you may have been doing it at the same time, we may have not crossed paths, and I didn't know you, you didn't know me, and I was a kid. So it wasn't about us trying to make money with this. We was doing it because it was a fun, and it wasn't even a culture yet at that point. But us young kids was doing this thing before them older heads was able to get in clubs and make money for Sylvia Robinson and for themselves. We couldn't get in clubs because we was kids. We was younger than everybody. So so it gets watered down, and the concept of the game gets misconstrued, and everybody want to lay claims to it so they can have that. I don't care nothing about that. All I could do is tell my story and what us little shorties was doing at that time. You know what I mean? So that's where it lays with me. It's not to knock nobody or to put nobody down or claim what everybody try to change the algorithms on the search engines so that the time can match up for their 50-year perspective, because for how some people has manipulated the culture, exploited the culture and the people, and converted from street life to the rap life, and into the hip hop life. But when I was in the park, I talked to some of the older heads and said, let's call this stuff hip hop, and explain why I just explained to y'all, the hip, because we was popular in the hop over the turnstiles and go from borough to borough. When I explained it to them, they went for it. And not only did they went for it, a lot of them tried to take it and steal the concept, but it's all good. And then here it is, years later, the hip hop historians now get with me and find we click up somehow. We get into this conversation. This somehow 30, 40 years later, and we talk, and the hip hop historians was in the park the day I did that. So that led credence to it. Not only credence, I got affidavits from them, the lawyers' offices, notarized and all that I am the man that came up with it first. They try to say that it was done in the military in 1978. They said they was counting cadence in the military. May have been true, but since they did not know I was a professional bodyguard trained by the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines to be a close quarters bodyguard, which I did for over 30 years while still performing. And I bodyguard everybody almost in the industry to a certain extent at one point or another, because I was a floater. So if they normal security wasn't available or they needed an extra hand, they'd fly me in when they wanted somebody to go watch their back that had the experience, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the skills to protect them on a major scale. I done protected some of the big of the bigs, from Vivica Fox to Morris Chestnut, the first Obama inauguration, to Oprah's people, to I done my thing, the Jacksons, pictures and all that on. And you go Google the original G-Man of hip hop, you see all that. So that's just to lend a credibility to that perspective alone. And when I was trained by all those branches, I was never in any branch of the military officially. I was there considered their plausible deniability, because freedom ain't free. And some people have to sacrifice and do things that so that people like you and everybody else can eat. So in order to stay free, even so, in order to do that, they had to have somebody that has skills, or people that they train to have skills to go and do things to pay the bills, if you, for lack of a better term. So with that being said, I'm just blessed to be here, still be alive, still doing shows. I got a movie out now on Tubi called Mad as Hell. Getting ready to shoot part 2 called Mad as Hell 2, T-O, Mad as Hell T-O, also meaning Mad as Hell 2. I'm playing a character named Matt Goldie. In the first one, it was got so many awards from the Independent Film Festival that it led so much respect that now they want to do a part 2 and turn it into a series. I'm a master chef. So I'm getting ready to do, I had a cooking show called Healthy Eating, Live Longer. Now I'm doing this, another cooking show. This one will be called The Hip Hop Chef. And I'm going to be putting a lot of focus into that and taking a lot of focus off of the music to a certain extent, because like I'm older now and I have a passion for that kitchen and I'm a beast in that kitchen. But I'll still be doing shows, still developing artists. I done developed some of the big artists, some artists you see on the radio or hear on the radio now, and even see on TV. That came through my 90-day artist development curriculum. I'm proud of that. To mention some of the names, I'm not going to do that, is because, you know, I don't take people's credit for when you develop somebody. They have natural God-given talents and gifts. I have no right to try to say I discovered them. No, I did not. I enhanced what they had to help them get to another level. And now I'm going to be doing that a lot more here soon on the Bigo platform. It's called Bigo, and I'm bringing you and your whole team to that platform so that they can get on there and grab a hold of a lot of money that's out there that people don't even know is out there, coming to that platform. And I'm so happy to bring that to you, brother, and do a deal with you and get you straight and your whole network and everybody that's involved, all the stars and all the old heads, all the old hip hoppers. It's a platform for y'all to make y'all little bread on it. And it's another gift from me to y'all, because I love y'all no matter who you are, even if you don't never heard of me or don't like me, but have seen me. Even L told me and my stepson at Jazz in the Garden a couple years ago in Miami Gardens, Florida. He said, man, he told my stepson, you know who your dad is? My son said, yeah, Dad. He said, no, you know who your dad is? He said, if it wasn't for your dad and God, there'd be no hip hop. Everybody in hip hop ought to write him a check. And I heard that from several people. None of them wrote the check yet, just so you know. You know, but the bottom line is to get recognition. I'm gonna start getting them to repeat that and say it on camera and on tape, so it led credence to my conversation, because people like to debunk you when they really have nowhere to turn. They turn on you, and I'm not for that. I don't play games. I don't play with people, man. I do my business. I had a stint as a bodyguard. I had a stint training some SWAT members and SWAT teams. I don't have time to play. I'm not for that. I'm not a online gangster, a telephone gangster. I'm not gonna run up on you and don't know you just because you said something that I might not agree with and try to do damage to you. That's not how I get there. I'm a grown man. I don't have time for the play. I don't chase orgasms. I chase life-gasms, and I think on the other end of eternity. I don't play with people, man. And I'm friendly with everybody, and I love everybody, all my fans and everything. But don't get it twisted. I'm like Peter. I'll cut your ear off and let God put it back. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's it in a nutshell, man.
So I want to ask you, what was your hardest time that you ever been through getting to where you are today?
The hardest time was, believe it or not, and I never was the type that ran around when I was a part of the Bobby Brown tours or being a part of the other group I was in, Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, or even when I was signed to Joey Robinson Jr. under the Bone and Me record label as MC Friction under the umbrella of Sugar Hill Records. I still never ran around saying, I'm the original G-Man of hip hop. I'm the one that named hip hop. I never did that, because who was I at that time in their mindset? Either a bodyguard or artist in their mind that's just trying to make it in that aspect. So they would never have believed me anyway, especially when you in a group and the artist in that group is the number one artist in the country. Who's going to believe that? Nobody. It was unbelievable. So I did this time, instead of rushing like I did when I first came up with it, when I started this is rhyming back in 1973. 1975 it was named. 1979 the first rap record came out, so you do the math. In 1973 there was no such thing as hip hop DJs. 1975 either. So the bottom line is, because in '73 they was only playing 78s, heavy glass, heavy disc records, and 45 little tiny disc records. So, and turntables didn't even spin back. So African Bambaataa was a funk band that came to America from the islands and converted to hip hop. And we ain't gonna get into the personal stuff. That's his business, his dealing. And then it was no such thing. So I don't want to even get in that, because that becomes more and more controversy, and I try to leave that alone. It's in the past. But hindsight, the hardest thing was transcending into performing while trying to explain who I am. Because every time you explain, I'm the original G-Man hip hop, formed of the Sugar Hill family and Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. People want to say, "Oh, Master G, Master G." I was called Master G as a kid. I was the first one they was calling Master G, and the guy that they called Master G, Guy O'Brien, love him, great guy. We finally had a conversation, me, him, and quite a few other people had a conversation about this whole mix up and thing going on. But he know for himself what Sylvia Robinson and the Sugar Hill family did, Sugar Hill gang and the family rather did with a whole lot of artists. So it ain't like somebody is lying about what they done. They manipulated and screwed a lot of people out of they publishing, their name, their rights. So, and even in the affidavits, one of the affidavits from one of the legends in the game said he used to break his neck when he came from out of town. He wanted to see the Little Master G in Prospect Park. I'm quite sure God never been to Prospect Park, but not to knock him out. And if he did, great, which was on Parkside Avenue, Ocean Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, I'm quite sure he's from Ohio. He ain't even from New York. Not to knock him. So you can be from where you want. Doesn't mean that it doesn't stop you from being what you created or taking away from what you created. But if you're gonna give credence to somebody and you laying your groundwork, tell them exactly. I'm from Ohio, but I'm a part of the Sugar Hill stuff. In some of her documentaries, she said we met with somebody else, but we met him at McDonald's, and I offered them the opportunity, and he turned it down. That's the lie. I never turned it down. And I didn't meet you at McDonald's. Y'all had me cut school and come up there on the train, then the bus, and pick me up from the bus station in Fort Lee and took me to a studio. I never even knew what a studio was. But what you did was hear me rhyme, telling you I needed to warm up, and you manipulated and stole that. And you had your husband there. You had Rocky there, an Italian guy who happened to be one of the old school mob members or whatever, but no longer with us. And he was a nice guy. You know what I mean? And everybody really was nice, but the way it turned out was messed up. I started hearing little nursery rhymes that I used to say back in the day on the radio. Threw me off. But let them have it. And then the older guys was able to get in clubs and make money off of what's going. And let's keep it 100. Back in them days, what grown-ass man, because they was older, grown-ass man would be spinning on their neck and their back and doing all the stuff. They wasn't doing that. Us kids was doing that. Them grown people wasn't doing that, but them grown people was the ones to be able to get in clubs. Only thing they could take credit for was saying rhymes. And then the rap didn't start until they start telling story. When you tell a story, that's when you rap. And when you rhyme, it's just nursery rhymes like hat, sack, cat, or hip hop, the hippie to the hippie. That's nursery rhymes. But when you start talking about macaroni, soggy peas, or mush and chicken, say, well, now you're telling a joke style rap because it's funny. And we all had experience. We went over our friend's house and ate, and the food was horrible. So, and that, with that being said, though, man, that's where it is. And the hardest time was now, when people hear the stories and they were like, well, hold up, but who's this guy? Now, I don't have nothing to do with that guy. That guy is him and I'm me. I just want to be known as the original G-Man of hip hop. I don't want to be known as nothing other than that. I don't care about the past. I'm going to leave the past in the past. And I hope this is the last time I even have to talk about it, because I'm moving forward with my life, my career, developing the artists and getting these young guys an opportunity, because it's not about me no more. It's about them now.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very inspirational stuff. And anybody that heard that can relate to it. You know what I mean? It's very, very powerful. So I wanted to see, my next question is actually why you actually started doing everything that you do now. What encouraged you and inspired you and made you want to actually get into hip hop?
A struggle, like my mother was a single parent, and around our house at one time, I know there was 13 kids running around, and my mother was a single parent, and it was hard taking care of your kids, let alone everybody else's kids and family members, and and I seen her struggle, and I seen her really go through hard times. So it inspired me to get out, hustle, bag groceries, scale fish, pack fruits and vegetables on the fruit stands, just to make a few dollars to help mom. And the inspiration came from my mother, just to get out there. But when it came to hip hop and performing and rapping and all that, it was just a talent that I had as a kid. I had a mixture in me. Like my mother was West Indian; she was born in St. Croix, Virgin Islands, and in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and my dad was from North Carolina, and my grandmother was from Santo Domingo, and I was born in New York. So it was like so much going on inside me that it just, it was like things in me that was begging to come out, and through the trials and tribulations, I just see people struggle, and it inspires me to go back to school so I'll never be one dimensional, and I can always be successful one way or another. So I went and got a culinary degree. I went and got my bachelor's in psychology. I went and got my doctorate in theology of music, because I understood who the minister of music for God was. It was Satan. So these vibrations that these kids are listening to, which they don't understand, alters their mind and their thinking patterns to do stuff that is not normal for them. And people be like, I never knew little Joey would do that. That's why, because his vibrations are getting them. And then I sit there and realize that we have the only language on the planet when we writing our stories or writing our rhymes. It's called spelling. And when you take the ing off, it's just spells. And those are actually spells that are you putting on vibrations that they say the power of life and death is in the tongue, because even God said, let there be, spoke things into existence. So we have that power because we are made in his likeness and his image. So we have those powers, but we haven't tapped into our power. And then when we saying these spells and these cantations and these over these beats that are vibrations and rhythms, we are getting reactions, but most of the time, we're not getting the reaction we're really looking for. We're leaning people into doing negative things, into the dark side, and then you enhance that with the spirits, alcohol. They call them spirits. You drinking, you enhance that, and then you may take a puff or take some other medication or some other drug or some other mind enhancement or mind altering substance, and you start tripping, and you start doing things, and you start not giving a damn about life. You start not giving a damn about yourself. You start not giving a damn about your community. You start not giving a damn about the purpose that you have, that God had for you, and you start doing what everybody else wants you to do, what that voice in your head that's not God telling you to do. So, I understand these things. So when I'm developing an artist, I'm able to turn on things in their mind, help stimulate their pineal gland in their head. I give them the wave numbers, the wavelength numbers, and actually I have that here. That I wanted to, I definitely I gotta give you that. I gotta give that to you.
Okay.
Like there are megahertz that you listen to that gives you certain strengths in your body. Like if you listen to like the solfeggio frequencies. You see what I mean? It's called the solfeggio frequencies, and these are megahertz. If you go to YouTube and you get in there and you type in the search engine and you put in megahertz, and then you put in 174 megahertz, and then you'll see it pop up. You click on it, and then it open up the windows, of course, and then you'll see things windows that you can open up that have like you go into a movie, looking at a movie or looking for something on YouTube, and it'll have 174 and it'll explain what it's for. Like 174, that excuse me, that vibration wavelength that relieves your stress and pain relief. Just 174. They should write that down. That's big. That's huge. And you can listen to that for about 30 minutes laying on your back. We're totally calm. Turn the lights down low and just listen to the vibration. Turn it up, feel the vibration, feel it, and watch your body do things. You start recognizing little things going on in your body, and that's to relieve pain. 285 is tissue, and it's tissue, and it's stem like release. It relieves the stress on your tissues. It helps heal the tissues that may have been damaged for any type of injury, like when you was playing sports or whatever, any type of injury, or if you got neuropathy in any part of your body from your diabetes, it actually helps heal that tissue. You know what I mean? And we know that vascular stuff, veins and stuff, and you not having the blood circulation. There's different wavelengths. Like 396 it takes away guilt and fear. 396, those are all wavelengths. You type in 417, that's trauma healing. 528, that's sleep improvement. You get to get a good night's sleep. And this is just about listening to these vibrations while you're sleeping with the TV on, loud enough so you can hear it. And until you fall asleep, and it still works. 639 is mental balance. 741 detoxes the body and the mind. 852, it relieves nervousness. You don't have to be nervous like before you go get a job or you got an interview. Listen to this, it'll calm your nerves down. You see what I'm saying? And then 963, that's positive energy. See, these numbers are real. What do you think Tesla was so huge about, and what was going on with his mindset? I'm talking about Nicholas Tesla, and then how they did the pyramids. They did all that by vibration and wavelengths, because vibrations can lift anything. It could change anything. You see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So that's
really
deep,
Yeah, yeah, that's very powerful. I actually did like an essay for Dr. David Render a few years ago about the different frequencies and stuff like that, how it would heal somebody back in the day. They would have to go to the hospital and they didn't have like the other way, so they would test with music and it would heal certain parts of the bodies and stuff like you're talking about. So that's what that reminds me of. That is very powerful. That's amazing.
And what this tells you now. Let's take it back to the hip hop perspective. Hip hop and everything in the world is based on a numerical equation. Everything from zero begot zero. Zero is a number. They say it has no significance. Yes, it does, because it's a number. It's the smallest point of a number, but it's a number. Then one, then two, then add, and you go on and on and on, and it adds up. So if you was to take your time and listen to these vibrations that I'm telling you about, these wavelengths, these the megahertz that there are, and if you was to listen to that stuff, man, I'm telling you, and add that into your music, you'll see the positivity that people are changing to, because you add it in there. It's a shame when you put stuff and you don't know what it is. 808, like a 808. We used to love 808s and 909s back in the day. You remember that? That doom, doom, doom. We love that. But those are low vibrations. Those are negative energies. You see what I mean? That's why you notice when you listen to the doom, doom, people used to love to ride in the car, smoke and get high and drink and all that, because them 808s had you wanted to feel that way, that vibration. But when you put on those hi-hats, and you notice some cultures, they do a lot of hi-hats, a lot of cymbals, a lot of snares, and a lot of rim shots and all of those are higher frequencies. So those, when you play them, notice they danced a lot more. They partied a lot more. Do they ever notice when you listen to Latino music, all that? They be partying and dancing all fast and they enjoying themselves, and then we laugh at them because we think they crazy. But then we go get our beer and our wine or our drink and our smoke, and we listen to 808 stuff, and we'll sit there and think about all the negative stuff on the planet. Or if you ain't got food, how to go rob something, how to go steal something, how to go hurt somebody, how to go. You see, it's a difference. But we laugh at them. But if we was to take some of these vibrations and add it into our music, our people be a lot further, man. And I'm not talking about of color. I'm talking about people of good and bad. We'd be a lot further.
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree. Because a lot of the 808 stuff is exactly what you're talking about. It's like
Right.
usually like gangster music and stuff like that. Shit talks about riding around, shooting people, and a lot of that stuff is actually that type of music. So I completely.
Yeah, you think a lot of them say they get accustomed to the low vibration music. That's why a lot of them say stuff like, I don't want to hear that party stuff. I don't want to hear that dancing stuff. They don't, because they say gangsters don't dance, we boogie, because you go into the clubs now, into some of the places, they're not dancing, they lean up against the wall. Then when somebody get on there with a low vibration sound, then oh, that's my song right there. They like it. They done got so used to the negative energy that it becomes everyday accustomed to them. You know what I mean? They're accustomed to that now.
Like it brainwashes them, so they think that's all they gotta listen to is that music. Yeah, because that's what a lot of that stuff does, is brainwash people, and that's why they'll act out and act the way that they do.
Yeah, you know, and it's not to knock people; it's to bring awareness to what has been happening to y'all. So that y'all, and I'm not saying you can't go out and have fun and have do your little drinks and have your little smoke and have your party. I'm saying pay attention to what you listening to. You know what I mean? On a daily basis, and then what you feed in your kids, because you feed these young kids who have less understanding than you. If you don't understand it, what do you think the young folks do? They really don't understand it. And then the babies are hearing this stuff riding around in the cars, in their house, listening to the cursing on top of the music, on top of the drinking and smoking they see. So then you just generationally killing your offsprings. Right. Either mentally, physically, emotionally, and definitely spiritually.
And they might not even realize what they're doing, too.
Nope.
And
that's the sad part.
Right.
That's the sad part. Like, we got a lot of people locked up in this penal system right now that they all say, and this is the weirdest thing that you pay attention to it if you watch it. You know somebody that at least know somebody that been in the penal system. They come when they in there, they tell you, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not gonna do this ever again. I don't want it. Then they come out, they start listening to the same vibrations, and then they start doing the same routine. And then they do the insane stuff and repeat the cycle, go right back in, and then it's like a family reunion because everybody together is feeling the same way. So it's like, come on now, you in order to get better, you got to do better, and you have to train yourself to do better. You start with the vibrations that you're getting. That's why everybody's talking about low vibrations and low frequency and all that. People are talking about that because the Great Awakening is here. So if that's the case, you can start with the vibrations. Start with the positive vibration, the positive energy. Go to sleep at night and take 30 minutes and pick one of the vibrational numbers I gave you, and just listen to it for 30 minutes. And if you don't get something out of that within that 30 minutes, then something's deeply wrong with you. You know, for real. Or you listening to the wrong frequency. Change the frequency. Because if you listen to something for pain and you have no pain, then what is it doing for you? Absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? You gotta listen to something. Let's say you arguing with your spouse or your significant other. You look at one that says it relieves stress, and you listen to that one, which would be, let's see which one is the stress reliever. 174. Listen to stress. Or 963, the positive energy. Listen to that. Listen to the positive energy before you go to work or before you go to school. And your day gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay because that energy is the first thing that you listening to, and the last thing before you went to bed, you listen to something positive. Our society, the last thing we hear before we go to bed is something negative, and I don't know what it may be. It could be arguing, it could be something on TV of a murder killer movie or whatever the case, something negative. And so that's what we sleep through the night on, and we wake up and start our day the same way. You see what I'm saying? First phone call you get in the day is something negative. You heard what happened to Pookie? Nah, man, I ain't thinking about what happened to Pookie. Let me call you back after I get my stress vibe on right quick. You know what I mean? So these are the things that we have to start doing, man. We got to start doing that. And the music can be great because there's some great music out here. Even on the low vibrational music, adding just a few of these vibrations to it, it doesn't change your music. It ain't gonna change the music. It's just because most of the hidden, the negative stuff, you don't even know what's in there. It's subliminally put in there in the back.
Right, subliminal messages.
Exactly, like Mickey Mouse and all these other things. Mickey Mouse is just 3 rings, a circle head and 2 circle ears. You know what I mean?
Like what you see on the everyday dollar bill and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
Also.
and you can fold almost anything and create a negative image out of it. So some of the stuff is by chance, some of it is set up and definitely to control you, and you looking at it and don't realize you're looking at it, but something about it made you feel some kind of way. Now they starting to unleash the truth about a lot of this stuff. You starting to say, wow, I did not believe that. I did not know that that was in there. And I used to love this show, The Simpsons, telling the future and all that. Come on now. Put them positive vibes in you. You don't have to worry about none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's that, man.
Right. They could be like, oh, I knew that all along anyways. Like, you know, they're just finally telling the truth, and we knew this shit for many, many years, many generations and shit. People known the shit that goes on. But yeah. I want to ask you, what do you think about, you think hip hop was actually dying, or like give me your brief intel on everything, what you think with the music of this generation and how it has become what it is.
Hip hop ain't hip no more. The hop is not hipping. It's not hip anymore because the negativity has taken control of the thought process, the business, the industry. And see, a lot of people don't know the difference between the business and industry. Business gets you paid and industry gets you laid. And they don't understand that. So most people are running for the industry aspect of it. And they even call it the industry so much time. You know, when you think industry, back in the day was manufacturing plants. So when you think business, that means that you think of handling your business, go on vacation, make your money and enjoy your family, you know, that type stuff. So, you know, it's just not the same no more. It's not fun no more. Hip hop is not fun anymore. It become when something becomes more about the way of life than giving life, it's not right. It's totally, it's gone. So we have to come back and save it. And I'm here to help, you know, as much as I can. You know what I mean? I'm here to really help turn this around. We got to stop this.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's not hip anymore? And what changed it? What are some things that changed it? Like the way they were doing the 808s and the frequencies, or something like that?
What's different is the body bag count. What changed is the body bag count. The body bag count that is being bragged about. That is, we look at the rappers that a lot of us may idolize or like, when we shouldn't be idolizing. No, and God said no, that was before me. But that we should just like and enjoy, we can't really enjoy them because if you look the wrong way or go to the wrong place, it spews somebody getting hurt. So the mindset is, excuse me, the mindset is, what do we do? See, it's not the artist per se, it's the industry. Because, you know, the artists don't really come out here wanting to do all that stuff. Who wants to do that? And especially if you got a family, or you have brothers and sisters, a mother, father, you got family and kids, wives, you know, uncles, aunties. You don't want to see nothing happen to them. So a lot of the artists don't really. And I've spoke to a lot of artists one-on-one. I get respect. You know, they show me love and respect, and they don't really want to do all this negative stuff. They don't. But the industry, not the business, the industry got them up against the wall, because even though some people may have record labels, those labels answer to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying? The artists follow somebody. They have to answer to somebody. The stars, the superstars have to answer to somebody. So the people that's getting filthy with the ones that are off of your first single, not even the album, your first single that has the big mansions and all them big houses off of that single, those are the people you have to answer to. And then when you go to see them, they ain't even the person, because they got a conglomerate behind them. They have to answer to other people, corporations.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So, and when we understand that this is the truth, and then we start saying, "Oh, we want to be independent." You can't be independent if you're not doing independent things. And just because you can go wherever you want, spend how much you want, that doesn't make you independent. Because we dependent but independent. That's how we end up being.
Yeah. Do you think you heard the term of people selling their souls and stuff to get fame, to get rich, to get money? What do you think about all that? Do you think they really had to sell their soul to the upper to be able to get rich and famous and get a lot
They
of
don't
money?
have to. They don't have to. Those are choices. Because
Right.
if and I understand people are hungry and they need to eat and they want to eat and they want to live the lifestyles they want, but those are choices. And we are taught to sell our souls. And people say, "Oh, we're gonna blame it on industry, and we're gonna blame it on this fashion. We're gonna blame it on the devil. We're gonna blame it on the Illuminati. We're gonna blame it on these on the secret societies, on the Masons, and all." No, 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 no. It's those are personal choices that they made. If they said, I signed my name on the dotted line. First word is I. You did that. You signed your name in blood or whatever on the dot. That's your choice. You choose it. At the end of the day, they give you choices. You take the choice you want. And then we are taught from a young age, because some of us are not raised, some of us just grow up. And when we grow up in the hood and we become products of our environment, then the choices we made are learned from the product and the environment that we are in, to get it at all costs, at no way, shape, or form or fashion. Even in the game, in the game, the same thing with that. The street game is the same thing. If somebody do something to your clique, you do something back to them. So therefore, once you do something back to them, then you already say, "Hey, I'm not selling my soul. I'm doing retribution." But we know what God said: "Vengeance is mine, it's not yours." Somebody do you something, I ain't say you got to be no punk about it. At the heat of the moment, you may get into some squabble, but the mindset to get up, get dressed, and to go look for it, and to start it, and to go after somebody, that's the choice. That's where the selling the soul come at that point, because you're supposed to be slow to anger. And I know if somebody smack me, I'm gonna try to kick a hole in their ass, and I'm gonna be honest about it. But the whole mindset is, by doing that, am I right or wrong? I already know I'm gonna fall short of the glory of God. I understand that. I'm not perfect. None of us are. You know what I mean? We are, but we make these choices. And when he say they sold, then that's the choice that they made. And they know what they're doing before they do it. Don't do just anything. Don't do just anything. Do something to prevent the anything to come in your mind. Because when you put the anything for the money, the anything for the women, the anything for the lifestyle, the anything for, you see what I mean? When you do the anything in there, then that's a part of selling your soul. Because God said believe in all things. He didn't say believe in some things. He said all things. And that's a part of all things.
Now, I think, like, let's say someone offered me $10 billion to wear whatever it is that they wanted me to wear. You know what I mean? I want to do it because I believe that right there, that's selling your soul. And I would never, ever do that. I'm going to wear what I want to wear, not what they want me to wear. Now, how do you feel about that?
I got you, but $10 billion is a lot of money, right? And we know that some people is never going to ever see that. Some people that got billions ain't going to see 10 of them. But let's put it like this. Let's say somebody literally come to you and say, "Cheney, I'll give you $5 billion. 5, not 10, $5 billion. I just want you to let me have one night with your wife."
I would take them, and I can't even talk about it, but I would take them, and I would just tell them to never talk to me ever again.
Okay, and that's a politically correct, a politically right answer, and that's a spiritually right answer. But when somebody come to you and say, "Okay, so we know that $5 billion is not going to get you to sell your soul for that perspective to have a night with your wife," okay, so this is what I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to give you $3 billion for a night with your wife, and I'm not going to kill your child. Now choices get harder. You see what I'm saying? First they was offering you 5, and it was just 5 flat. Now they saying I'm gonna take away 3 billion. I'm gonna give you just 2 or 3 billion, and I want a night with your wife. Plus, we got your child, and if you don't sacrifice, we're gonna do something to your child, and still they're gonna have a night with your wife because you ain't gonna be there. You see what I'm saying? So my point being, the reason why I'm making that so plain and so bluntly clear is so you can understand the position that some of our brothers and sisters are in.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it's not to be mean, and I would never come at you that way, no, out of disrespect. So don't, please, let's not say that that's not happening, and people will take a recording and say and chop it up and say this. You heard what that man said? That's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to paint a picture here. You know what I mean? How hard it is. What will get you to sell your soul? That's the whole key. And then there's still a choice, because now you can say you still have a choice. I may have 2 or 3 kids, and I won't sacrifice one, but God sacrifices only begotten son for us. So would I sacrifice my child, one of my children, or my only child, just to have one night with my wife? Which, no disrespect to nobody, some of these people wives do it for free. You know what I'm saying? They do it for a Happy Meal and a McDonald's toy. You know what I mean? But then you got some that do it for $100 or $1,000, and you talking about $2 billion. They be like, one night versus that one night, and my child ain't gonna get hurt. I almost guarantee you that 75% of the world would jump on that. They would have jumped on the money from the 5 billion.
I would tell them to just shoot me. I'd be like, all right, no, that's not gonna happen. Need to bring my child back, leave my wife alone. You guys just need to shoot me, and that's it.
That sounds good. That sounds good, but they're gonna make an example, and your kid's not coming back unless you do what they say do. So that conversation, that talking to them like that, don't mean nothing to those people that want what they want, and they got money and they got power. So everything that you about don't matter no more. They're gonna destroy your character. They're gonna destroy your livelihood. They're already destroying your family. You know what I mean? And now they're gonna get with you, and you're gonna either live good for the rest of your life, go on the island somewhere, and you and your wife and kids, with one memory in your mind that you want to try your best to get out of your head, but it's not going nowhere because you was forced to do stuff that you forced to do. You never forget. Stuff that you do on your own choice, you don't have to. You forget it. You can forget that because it was easy to do. You chose it. But stuff that people force you to do, you don't forget that.
Right. Yeah, it's very crazy. It's definitely crazy what goes on behind the scenes and stuff with, because some people are really forced like that to do what they want to do, and they force them to sell or so on, stuff like that, and then they either end up with lots of money or then they end up missing or something like that. Just some very crazy stuff. Now, what you do in that situation? You don't know? You still there? I can't hear you for some reason.
Oh, I hit the mic by accident. I hit the mic. Now, would I want that to happen to me? No. Would I want that to happen to my wife or my child? Of course not. Definitely not. But in that situation with a gun put to your head, and if you dead at the end of the day, it's gone. It's over with. Ain't nothing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So do I run and fight another day? Do I choose the latter of the three? You know what I mean? Option. We don't know. And when something like that comes up, that's when you'll know the fortitude that you have. Would you go on a binge and try to find who it is that's pulling the string and try to cut them out of the equation? Who knows what the situation may be? So you look at some of our young brothers and sisters, they're in that position right now. They are selling their souls. They have to sell their souls. They sign to get this fame and fortune, and then they get up on a certain level and they start crying about it. I want to get out of this. I don't want to do this. I should have never did this. I did it. And then and you knew what you was doing. You just didn't believe it was going to happen to the way it was going to happen. So when them people come back to collect, now you wanna cry. So my point being is, don't put yourself in a position like that. Just hey, if you got to sacrifice working hard, work hard. Get 2 or 3 jobs. I would have got different things so I could have something to rely on, bro.
Right.
And like the LGBTQ community, you can't say nothing about them. You say something about them, everything you lose everything. They come against you, they attack you, but you can't force your will on them, but they can force their will on you, because they saying we don't force. Yes, you do, because you put it all down our throats in our commercials and everything we do. You put it, but us people that are heterosexual, we got to deal with that, and we don't believe in it, or we don't want to be bothered with it. So, but you force it on us, but we can't force the straight on you, because when's the last time you seen us say let's have a straight day parade? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Or let's get even deeper. When's the last time you seen let's have a stepdaddy day? You see what I'm saying? And most of the kids of today are raised nowadays by stepdads and stepmoms per se. But you don't see them getting no credit. You don't see them getting the respect.
I said I'm the dad that stepped up. That's what I am. I'm the dad that stepped up. Fuck being a stepdad. I'm the dad that stepped up.
Yeah, I got you. I respect that.
Thank you. Not everybody knows that, but because I treat them as my own, because they are my kids. They are my blood to me. You know what I mean? And my family. So, I do
the same thing. I'm with you. I'm a stepdad too, and I wouldn't trade them for nothing in the world. I don't care how much they get on my nerve, their mom nerve. I'm still my stepkids at the end of the day, and my step grandbaby. You understand what I'm saying? So and when people hear that you have those weaknesses, that's when they got leverage over you.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely a handful. I tell you.
Definitely. So that's it. Then the next thing I'm doing is the cooking stuff, man. I love the kitchen, man. I'm a beast, man.
Let's talk about that.
Oh man, it's this new cooking show is gonna be called the Hip Hop Chef. You know what I mean? I got my aprons are in now, and they got networks that wants me on their channel. So my manager, publicist, and all of them are putting together some deals. You know what I mean? I'm just excited, man. I'm super excited about that, because that's second to being on stage. You know what I mean? That's second to being on stage, and that's when I say second. That's the number 2 spot. Number 1 spot is family, but and family consists of God. So my number 2 thing is passion in the kitchen, man. I love to create dishes, man.
So what's some of the most hardest meals that you made?
The hardest meals I made. Let me think. Oh, I was trying one time. Let me tell you, man. I was trying to cook a German dish one time, and the ingredients was simple ingredients. It was just sausages, potatoes. I'm allergic to potatoes, so I couldn't eat it. So I really couldn't taste it. Wow. So but I can cook potatoes any way you want, of course. Now, and so it had sauerkraut, potatoes, corn, cabbage. Sauerkraut is cabbage, but it was regular cabbage, red cabbage, and it was sauerkraut with sausages in it and some ground beef, and I think lentil peas or something like that, lentil or something like that in it. I think it was, but I was preparing this for some friends, and of course I wasn't over the top experienced in over this international cooking yet. So I was cooking it, and I had it all down. It was smelling good. Boy, it was looking good. It was plates right. And I put it down on the table. And the good thing, we had a dignitary that was coming in and they was coming from over there. And I cooked it, man. I cooked this meal, put the white wine on the table, and put everything out, set it up all good. My chest all stuck out, knowing I'm gonna do it. Boy, and everybody said they little blessings and they little grace, and they started eating, and next thing you know, I started hearing I forgot to soak the sauerkraut. I left the salt in there, and then the salt with the other stuff. And then and then everybody that came by was putting a pinch of salt in it. A pinch of salt in it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I felt so bad, but I ended up I saved the day. I saved the day, you know. I really did. I just went traditional. I went with some quick macaroni and cheese, some fried chicken, and smothered it in some brown gravy, and you know I went that way, and that came off way better. It took about another hour and 15 minutes to cook. So meanwhile, everybody was having their little wine and eating some biscuits, and you know, and having a stogie, smoking their cigars or their cigarettes or whatever. And then when I got through cooking, everybody praised me for doing that. But and then everybody admitted went by that pot, raised their hand. It was about 4 different people went by and put a pinch of sugar in there on top of the sauerkraut that didn't soak.
Oh wow. So what made you really love kicking or cooking so much? Kicking. What really you love
Kicking, cooking. Kicking, cooking.
Kicking,
Well,
cooking in the kitchen.
yeah, kicking, cooking in the kitchen. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
My mother was, as a single parent with all them kids in the house and all those people that was in the house, she used to sit me up on the washing machine, and I used to mix the batter for pancakes, the cornbread, the cake batter. You know, she had me at a young age turning the chicken and looking in the oven without putting my face in there. When you open the door, I had to learn the safety stuff, and so it was my mother inspired me to go and I'm gonna be honest, I got kicked out of high school. This guy spit at me and called me the N word, and we was walking to the school bus, and I lost it, and I hit him and broke his jaw in 3 places. And when I got to my high school, from where I was walking to the bus across town, how in the world, I never know how this happened, but it had to be God involved in it somehow. This boy was the son of the dean of my high school. How does that happen?
Wow.
Unlucky. Very unlucky circumstances. So lo and behold, I went to the Job Corps up in Leona, Wisconsin. It was called Blackwell, and I got my cooking diploma. 20, I think it was like a 18 to 20-month course, 24-month course, something like that. And I graduated in 8.5 months. I was that fast and that good because I was a student in it already, and left from there. Came home, got back into the entertainment thing, doing the bodyguard training thing, and then went to Treasure Island, San Francisco, got my culinary degree, and the rest is history, man. You know.
Yeah. So what was the first song that you ever did? Do you remember the first song that you ever actually recorded?
Yeah, it's this song called Esta Loca, and I did it with Tito Puente Sr. Yep. Esa loca, le huevo. I remember that like yesterday. I was a young kid, and he used to get me in Latin quarters, and you know, just all the clubs that I had no business getting in, but he got me in some of them, man. Snipped me through the back and all that. And when I came into the back door, they had this little wall that cut out in the wall that they used to store stuff in it, and I come up under the stage, under the floorboards, and I'd come out and just do my my little quick rhyme on it and all that while he played the congos and his thing, and I left the same way. It was just so amazing, man. And that was the first song, and then I re-recorded it with Lionel Martin from Video Music Box back in the day. Classic Concepts used to shoot everybody videos because I was a PA and a production assistant, and I worked on Queen Mother Rage for X Clan, Finesse and Sequence, Third Base, the Gas Face. I did that video with them. I did so much, man. I was just blessed, man. Plus the raw bass stuff, of course, you know. And it just that was the first song. I asked Loca, and he redid it. He put me in the studio, Lionel Martin, and we redid that song.
Wow, that's awesome. You remember what year it was when you did it? Must have been a long time ago.
Which one? The remake or the first one?
The first one that
The
you
re.
did, the
Oh
Loka.
man, that was in I want to say 81 maybe 81, 82,
How
81,
old were
82. Oh man, I was 11, 12, 12, 13, and 79, 81. I was I want to say 13 or 14, 14
you?
roughly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I was 12 and 13, I was living in the Virgin Islands. I won Man of the Year. I was performing on they festivals down there. They call it Jambola. You know, they used to have those big carnivals down there, and I was like headlining. Man, it was crazy, man. As a young kid, I was blessed. Hey, God blessed me.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's some really powerful stuff too, definitely. And so that was how many years ago now that it happened?
Oh my God, that was in 81, 82. This is 2024. You do the math. Shit. That was what, 30 years, 30 odd years ago, man. 30, 40 years. It was a long time ago. Yeah, it was about, I'm 57 now, so it was about 40 years almost. It
Since
was a
your
little more than that. Shit. It was a little more than that. Woo. Goodness. Man. I'm telling my age now.
Huh?
I'm telling my age now.
I actually started like freestyling and stuff like when I was probably it was in 2006. It was more after I graduated school, but I'm not good with the math and stuff like that, so I couldn't tell you exactly how old I was in 2006, but that's when I really became a creator and started creating and started learning how to do graphics and video editing and just messing around with the computer stuff and learning to do different things. And then once like YouTube came out eventually, then I really started watching videos, trying to figure out how to do different stuff and learning Photoshop and just different types of programs and stuff. Now, have you ever made any pictures before, like in school or anything? Have they ever had you do any type of like creating pictures? I know we had to do like presentations with like Microsoft PowerPoint and stuff, and that stuff. That's what like kind of made me want to like start creating and learning how to do different things. And also we made the CO2 cartridge cars, and we did like cups and stuff like that when we were kids out of clay. Have you ever done any stuff like that in school?
Yeah, we did the clay stuff, but I wasn't into the drawing and all that stuff. I was into the music aspect of it, man. I was into that. I was into protecting people. I didn't like bullies. I couldn't stand bullies, so I'd get into bullies' ass. You know what I mean? That just I don't like bullies. That's one of the reasons why I became a bodyguard as well. So to protect people. I don't like people being taken advantage of, especially when like stuff that happened to me when I was a kid. So I don't, I just, I didn't get into that, to the drawing and all that. No, but I did do some clay stuff. Every kid, we all had arts and craft, and we had to do
Right.
some stuff. We didn't, when we were small, we didn't have computers. There was no such thing as computers. Shit, I go back to when we had just two channels on the TV. You know what I mean? And they only had one button, and it turned from UHF to what the HFV or whatever the heck it was that was on there. But we didn't have, I go back to before there was computers, before there was cell phones, and even before there was pagers. So I go back, I watched the world metamorph into what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't imagine because I remember when I was a kid, we had like those big phones and shit like that for the cell phones, like they were big ass phones and shit.
I had one.
Big ass like old computers. I know when I was in school, we had Roller Coaster Tycoon, and we were allowed to play Roller Coaster Tycoon in my school, which was pretty cool.
Man, we didn't even have video games.
Right.
There was no such thing as video games. Let me tell you something. We watched technology go from landlines, from rotary to touch tone, from touch tone to cell phone, from cords to fiber optics to now Wi-Fi, where there's nothing touching nothing, and it still works. So I've watched the world evolve from damn near horse and buggy to now.
To robots, to holograms, to aliens. Yeah. It's just crazy. So, did you have black and white TVs when you were a kid?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
And I go back to when the TV used to get cut off at a certain time at night. All you heard was shh. They cut all the TVs off. Nobody had TV at a certain time at night. They would cut off. You know what I mean? They would just be static going, and then you'd have to wait till the next morning about 6 o'clock or something like that, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning for it to come back on. It'd come back on by itself, because then they start programming, they start doing stuff live, and it was crazy, man. It really was crazy, man. It really was. To see the way the world is right now, and you don't understand why people don't realize that the only thing beats hate is love, and they don't get it. That's the only thing beats hate is love. Only thing beats darkness is light. And that's it. Everything else is irrelevant.
Yeah. And that's why if someone says, fuck you, that's when you say, love you too, fam. Have a nice day. Because
I go deeper with it. When somebody say F you to me, I'd be like, thank you. And I'd be like, you right. You are right. And you know why I say that? Because that means I don't have to fuck with you.
Right.
Simple and plain. I'd be like, you're right. Fuck me. You're right. You right. Thank you. Thank you. When somebody be like, yeah, and I listen to people talk all that shit though, because it's easy to talk. Talking is free. And Mike Tyson said it to Grace. Everybody got a plan till they get hit in the mouth. If somebody say, y'all, I just want to bash you in your face, you'd be like, I want to do that to me sometime too. Shit. And just walk away. You know what I mean?
Right. That's great.
It's their way of thinking of. See, I got a bachelor's in psychology. I ain't stupid, you know, and because it's easy for me to just walk away and to sit there, because everybody, you could want to do that. Wanting is free. But and those are the people that never thought about the repercussions, because then that's the ones that come back and be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that to me. I only hit you in the face, but I blew your whole face apart. That's what it meant to me. Or you end up getting caught and going to jail, and then I become a snitch. But you on your record snitching, or you snitching on everybody else, or you telling, or you do something to somebody, or somebody do something to your family right away. Now you want to tell or get retribution. Come on, man. Go ahead with. I don't play with kid-minded people. I don't play with children-minded people. I ain't got time for that. They want you to over-respect them and their family, but under-respect you and yours. Man, have a nice day. You know what I mean? That's all. God bless you. Please, twice. Have a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think, just like many other people say, like, everyone should just really get along. I mean, that's the only way. That's the only way for anything, is to get along. Because what's the point of fighting and arguing, and like, you ain't accomplishing nothing. You want to sit there, fight and argue all day, but you're not getting nothing accomplished. You're running in circles, doing the same thing over and over and over. And it's like you're living in a loop. You know what I mean? Like, you see those
but everybody don't have to get along. Everybody don't have to get along. You can agree to disagree. That's not a problem. You can agree to disagree, but just go about your business. You know what I mean? Once you realize that you and that person don't click and y'all don't agree, just go about your business. You ain't got to try to force your view on somebody, or force your feeling on somebody, or put your hand on somebody, or put your mouth. Because remember, words are cantations. Words are spells. You can say the wrong thing, and the wrong thing happened, but not to the person you talking to. It can happen to somebody in your family or to you.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta watch what you say to people. You know, God said, you know, touch not my anointing, do my prophet no harm. You don't know who you talking to sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's all I gotta say, my brother. And man, hey, God bless, man. It was fun being on here too, man. I like talking to you because we go on for hours, man.
Oh yeah, you know we will. We know each other for quite a while now, but I thank you so much, brother. It's such an honor having you on here. Truly appreciate it. I wanted to see if you want to give any shout outs to anyone at all.
Oh yeah. Let me give you a shout out, man. Let me cut you off and give you a shout out because a lot of people, they give you shout outs and sometimes, worldwide collaborations, shout out. This is the original G-Man. I'm giving him his plug right now. This is the original G-Man of hip hop. And I want to show number of love to the worldwide collaboration and my man Cheney. Y'all, there are a lot of people give worldwide collaboration props, but they don't say his name. Christopher Cheney from Worldwide Collaborations. This is the original G-Man of hip hop. And I want to show you nothing but love, my brother, because you doing some great things out there. We need more people like you. And then I gotta shout out my team. I gotta shout my team out. My publicist, Cheryl Daly, my wife, my kids. I gotta shout everybody out. You know what I mean? My managers. You know what I mean? Jim Chong and Cheryl Daly again. Robert Parham, my producer director of the movies and all that. Rich, my festival guy. I gotta give you a shout out. Rob Benowitz from, to be a rising star. That's the next thing coming up, and then also or Frank McMay, my financier for a lot of things. That's my partner, my business partner in crime. That's my buddy, man. Love you. And then you, man, I'm so glad that we're gonna be working together and at the next level with the big old thing. I already talked to them. We're gonna be bringing you and your team and all your homies and all the guys that's involved to the platform, man. Those thousands of people that we get ready to do some things with. Already got them ready. All you gotta do is talk to everybody, line them up, get them ready so they're ready to go. They want to make that little bit of bread and get them. We get them signed up immediately. So that's a gift from me to you, Cheney.
Thank you, brother. Truly appreciate it. It's really, truly an honor to have you as part of the family and for you to come here today as well. And also, I wanted to see if you wanted to tell them where they can find you on your social media.
Well, we getting ready. I just today got a new media guy. We can tell you who his name is. So all that stuff will be coming to you soon. Everything will be being changed up. So I don't want to jump out there and do that because you could bring them that news here in the near future because it's all coming and we're revamping. They rebranded me. So I don't want to give out none of that yet because Cheney, you'll have it firsthand and you could put it out there.
All right, yeah, and we could always bring you on here again anytime you got any new stuff and things like that. Definitely bring you on here as well.
And if they need to get at me and they want to be a part of the arts development thing, all they got to do is reach out to you, and you know how to get at me and link them up with me. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Right. Thank you, brother.
Temporarily. Yeah, temporarily.
Yeah, definitely. And have a blessed day. Thank you so much.
You too, man. And tell the family I said hi.
I will. Thank you, brother. I am going to play the card too for the outro. Peace out, brother.
Okay.
Great having you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Worldwide collaboration.
What is worldwide collaboration?
It will blow your mind. It is the world movement beyond movements. And talents join them on wwcfam.com. How do I join them? Go to wwcfam.com and upload music, videos, create chats, add websites, online radios, and so much more. Let's take over the world together. I am down. I hear it's not only a website, but a movement anyone could be a part of. Yes, go join them now and later rule the world together. Worldwide collaboration.
This is a worldwide collaboration song.
Yeah, look. Brainstorming, creating, thinking, and new ideas, inventing inventions. Representing everything, having members collaborating. Worldwide collaboration.